Welcome back to the cryptowrld channel, everyone. My name is Josh, and right now, Bitcoin is on the edge of a major breakout from this massive bullish pattern, as the price is already moving towards this bullish price target in the short term, while billions of dollars of liquidations are likely coming very soon, while Ethereum is now running into a critical area on the chart. So I'll be talking about all of that and more later in the video, so definitely watch to the end. First of all, just before getting into the Bitcoin charts today, we need to talk about the Bitcoin news today, because on Tuesday we saw a massive net inflow into the spot Bitcoin ETFs, which is of course helping to pump the price of Bitcoin here in the short term over the last couple of days. Because first of all, the average day over the last 1 week or so has been a net inflow into the Bitcoin ETFs of around 50 million, give or take 50 to 100 million as a net inflow into the Bitcoin ETFs overall in a single day. That's been kind of the average day over the last 1 week or so. But on Tuesday alone, we saw a net inflow of over 886 million US dollars coming into the Bitcoin ETFs. And so this is nearly $900 million, nearly $1 billion worth of new money coming into the Bitcoin ETFs. And it's because these are spot Bitcoin ETFs, they're basically having to buy actual Bitcoin in order to back their ETFs. So this is massive buying pressure pumping the price of Bitcoin. And so if we continue to see massive net inflows like this, like what we saw on Tuesday coming into the Bitcoin ETFs, then this is likely going to continue the bullish price action for Bitcoin. And if we're actually looking at the individual Bitcoin ETFs on the chart down here, we can see that this was not just one massive inflow into just BlackRock or just Fidelity. This was a lot of inflows across a lot of different ETFs. Even the Grayscale ETF had an inflow, not an outflow. And so once again, this is massive bullish news for Bitcoin, especially if we continue to see these sort of numbers coming into the Bitcoin ETFs. And with that being said, taking a look at the Bitcoin charts today, looking at the 4-day time frame, and right now the Bollinger Band's width indicator and the Bollinger Bands are starting to slowly expand. So we can see in the Bollinger Band's width indicator over the last couple of days, this has started to move back to the upside ever so slightly. But as of right now, we haven't really had the major expansion, at least not yet. Because if we're looking at these previous signals, as soon as we start seeing a large expansion, a large move to the upside in this width indicator right here, which means an expansion in the Bollinger Bands, of course, when that starts happening, that tells us that the major volatile move is officially beginning in the price of Bitcoin. And I've talked more about this chart right here in a couple of recent videos here on the channel over the last 1 week or so, but basically this signal is telling us that a major volatile move on the larger time frames is coming very soon, as in potentially at some point within the next few weeks or so. And if you're wondering what I mean by a volatile move for the larger timeframes, I'm talking about at least a 20 to 30% move in the price of Bitcoin from where we are right now. And so just for example, if we see another bullish move as the next volatile move in the price of Bitcoin, considering we are in a larger bullish trend, also known as a bull market, then just for example, measuring out a 20% move from where we are right now, that will take the price of Bitcoin quickly up towards around 86,000, or a 30% move would take the price of Bitcoin up towards around $93,000. And because we're talking about volatile moves in the market here, these moves play out within around 1 to 2 weeks from when they start beginning. And so this signal is basically telling us that it is quite likely that if the Bitcoin price starts breaking out above this major resistance at around the all-time high, so if we start breaking out above around 73 to 74,000, then within 1 to 2 weeks, we could be trading above $80,000. So we could get there very quickly if we see a breakout above this all-time high area. And that is shown not only by this chart on this time frame, by these multiple indicators right here, but also if we're taking a look at the 3-day Bitcoin chart, right now we have a massive inverse head and shoulders pattern in the price of Bitcoin, which has basically completed the formation phase, but as of right now, it has not yet confirmed, because we still need to see a confirmed breakout with a candle close above this neckline, which on the 3-day time frame based on the candle closes is sitting at around 71.7K. And as of recording this video, the next 3-day candle close confirms in a little over 2 days from now. And so, for example, if in 2 days from now, the price of Bitcoin is trading well above 71.7K, ideally above 72 to 74,000, if the price is trading above that area right there on the 3-day time frame in a couple of days from now, confirming the candle close above that area, then in that case, that will activate and confirm this massive inverse head and shoulders pattern in the price of Bitcoin that has been forming over a couple of months now here in the price, and that would activate the bullish price target for the pattern, which is sitting at around 86 to 87,000. And so this is completely a separate time frame, a separate pattern, and a separate price target based on this pattern that is giving us the same results, the same potential movement that we're looking at here on this chart based on these multiple indicators. And so we do have multiple things lining up across multiple different indicators, patterns, time frames, all lining up together, pointing towards potentially a move towards around 80 to 90,000 within the next few weeks if we first confirm a breakout above this all-time high area, which as of right now has not yet confirmed. And if we're taking a look at this daily Bitcoin chart, as of right now, the daily Bitcoin RSI is still trending in the bullish direction, forming higher lows and higher highs, which is what I've been talking about pretty much every few days or so since almost this exact low right down here, below $60,000. You can even check my videos back then around a month ago. That is when I started to flip much more bullish on this chart, pointing out this bullish signal and what has happened the last few times this signal has flashed. And so once again, as I've been saying, since much lower prices, we're likely going to see more bullish price action in terms of the trends here on the daily time frame. But as always, these larger bullish moves or these bullish trends in the price can contain some short-term pullbacks here and there, so just keep that in mind. And if we're taking a look at this daily Bitcoin chart, as of right now, despite the very slight bounce that we've just seen here in the DXY is still technically trending in the bearish direction, forming lower highs and lower lows, which is bullish for the trend in the price of Bitcoin, which once again is what I've been saying since below $60,000. And so once again, as I've been saying over the last 1 month, we have multiple patterns and indicators all pointing in the bullish direction right now for the price of Bitcoin when we're talking about the larger time frames, as in these larger bullish trends or these larger bullish moves in the price, which once again can contain some short-term pullbacks here and there. So just because we see a bit of a short-term pullback over a few days, that does not necessarily invalidate these larger movements. And if we're taking a look at this daily Bitcoin chart, as of right now, we're still continuing that perfect bounce from this exact area of support that I've also been talking about here on the channel, still sitting in between 67 to 68,000. But right now, the price is getting very close to potentially running into this area of resistance again, which is sitting in between around 72,000 to 74,000. And so just keep that in mind. It is still possible that the price could struggle around this area as it is acting as strong resistance as we've seen previously. And so like I said earlier, a bullish trend can contain some short-term pullbacks. So just keep that in mind. I would not be surprised if we do see the price somewhat struggle somewhere around this area. And so once again, that's why I said earlier that we ideally need to see a strong confirmed breakout above this all-time high area, ideally above 73 to 74,000 in order to officially confirm that massive bullish scenario that is pending in the price of Bitcoin. And so right now we're getting extremely close to potentially confirming that major bullish move coming very soon. But right now we have not yet officially confirmed the breakout above this strong area of resistance. So we still need to wait for that in order to flip much more bullish again on the larger timeframes. But if we're zooming into the shorter term, looking at the 4-hour Bitcoin chart, obviously, as we can see here over the last couple of days, the price of Bitcoin has been continuing the bullish breakout from this triangle pattern right here, which is what I've been talking about over the last few days, even before we saw that move. And obviously, if you've been watching my videos over the last 1 week or so, you would know that I've been laying out a strategy step by step of how we can make easy money in the price of crypto, trading a breakout trade just like this. Because since the Bitcoin price was all the way back down here, I've been saying how if the price breaks out above this resistance, that will be a signal to start entering into a long position. So for example, right around here, when the price was trading above this resistance, once we had broken out, that was the signal to enter a long position position. And if you followed my videos over the last few days, if you followed this trading strategy, then right now you should be making a lot of easy profits in crypto. And as of right now, if I was taking this breakout trade right here, as always, not financial advice, but if I was taking this breakout trade, personally, I would have my stop loss at least at my entry, at least at break even, ideally in some profits. So in the worst case scenario, if we just fail that bullish move and crash right now, you still make some profits with a stop loss sitting in profits. And as of right now, we're roughly halfway between the breakout and the price target. So we're roughly halfway for this pattern to be completed. And as of right now, the price target is still sitting at around 74.8k for this pattern right here. And as of right now, when it comes to my Bitcoin trading strategy, where I'm actually putting my money where my mouth is, I'm still currently in my $200,000 Bitcoin long position, as you can see here on the left-hand side. And as of right now, this Bitcoin long position is currently over 50,000 US dollars in profits, and the stop loss is in profits above my entry. So even in the worst case scenario, I still come away with profits from this trade. And when it comes to my Bitcoin trading strategy for this trade moving forward, I continue to plan to hold this trade for the larger bullish move that is potentially playing out right now, and as we've seen over the last 1 month. And once again, I've been laying out that exact same trading strategy since below $60,000. I've been saying how I'm taking a larger swing trade here and plan to hold over at least a few weeks, possibly over multiple months, trading the larger move to the upside. And as of right now, I am still following that same trading strategy that I've been sharing very transparently basically every single day since below $60,000. And even back then, below 60,000, when I was mentioning this trading strategy, a lot of people were leaving hate comments saying that I'm going to be completely wrong and we're going to be very, very bearish over the next 1 month. And obviously, you can see how the trade is doing. And obviously, those comments were not correct. And so that is why it is important to subscribe to this channel with notifications turned on so that you don't miss out on any of these important videos where I'm sharing these trading opportunities where you could potentially make a lot of easy profits in crypto, which I'm sharing step by step, very easily to follow, very transparently. And if you're wondering where I'm taking this Bitcoin trade, personally, I take basically all of my trades over on Bybit. So I'll make sure to leave a link to Bybit down below this video in the description and in the pinned comment. And if you use that link down below this video to make a Bybit account and deposit on that account, then you can get up to a $30,000 deposit bonus, but only if you use that link down below this video. And also, if you use that link, it'll take you to this page right here where you can claim a 200 USDT airdrop position just by making a Bybit account using that link, making a deposit and claiming the airdrop. And so if you're going to be trading crypto anyway, you might as well check this out. Once again, first link down below this video. But for whatever reason, if you cannot access Bybit or if you cannot KYC on Bybit, there is also Bitflex, which is another crypto exchange similar to Bybit, but you don't need KYC for Bitflex. And so I'll also make sure to leave a link to Bitflex down below this video as an alternative crypto exchange. And if we're taking a quick look at the Bitcoin liquidation heat map, we can see massive liquidity building to the upside on the larger timeframes here, sitting mainly at around 73,000 and 74,000. And so this is yet another reason why it is so important for the price to break above 73 to 74,000, because if we start breaking out above 73 to 74,000, we're going to see billions of dollars, potentially tens of billions of dollars of liquidations. And so what that means, in case you're new to all of this, is basically tens of billions of dollars of short positions will likely get liquidated right around these prices at 73 to 74,000 if Bitcoin crosses above those areas. And so that basically means massive short positions will be forced to close. They will be wiped out of the market. And when a short position closes or gets liquidated, they have to buy back into the underlying asset, in this case, Bitcoin, in order to repay their position, to close the position. And so basically, as the price of Bitcoin liquidates those short positions, if we cross above those liquidation levels, that will force the price even further to the upside, liquidating even more positions, forcing the price further to the upside in a short squeeze. And so this is yet another chart and indicator pointing towards the exact same scenario that I laid out earlier, with potentially a major volatile move in the price of Bitcoin that is currently being revealed across multiple charts, indicators, and patterns and timeframes. And so once again, all we're waiting for now for the potential move to actually begin is a confirmed breakout above these highs, ideally above 73 to 74,000 to potentially start a major short squeeze. And if we're taking a look at Ethereum on the daily time frame, as of right now, the price of ETH is still technically playing out the bullish breakout for the bullish falling wedge pattern with a bullish price target in play at around 40.70, because this price target in this breakout and this pattern would only invalidate if we see a confirmed break back below around 3.2k, which obviously has not happened. But with that being said, it is quite clear that at least in the short term, the price of ETH is somewhat lacking momentum because ETH BTC is currently rejecting from major resistance, which I explained recently here on the channel. So check out my last couple of videos if you missed those videos. And also, if we're taking a look at the 8-hour time frame, right now the price has still been battling this Fibonacci level of resistance sitting at around 38.20. And so at least in the short term here, that has been a strong obstacle for the price, where the price has been struggling at, which is to be expected at resistance. But if we actually see a confirmed breakout above 38.20 with candle closes above that level, or ideally flipping that level into new support, then in that case, we could likely return at least towards these previous highs at around 39.50, and more likely up towards this previous high, which should be acting as strong resistance just below 4.1k. And also, as of right now, we're seeing ascending lows in the price of ETH. So basically, the price is getting squeezed between an ascending line of support and this Fibonacci level of resistance, which means very soon the price will have to choose a direction. And considering Bitcoin is breaking bullish, it is quite likely that Ethereum could follow Bitcoin along with that bullish move. And if we're staying on the 8-hour time frame but zooming into this area on the chart, we can still see a possible head and shoulders pattern, but at this point it's pretty much over because we're starting to see a further bounce to the upside in the price of ETH. And like I explained in my last video, in order for this pattern to actually confirm, we would have needed to see a confirmed break below this neckline very soon. And now, with that being said, if in the next few hours or the next one day we quickly see a move to the downside below this neckline, then it's possible we could still play out this head and shoulders pattern, but that would have to happen very soon, as in just in the next few hours or so. But if over the next one day we just continue like this, for example, like what we've seen over the last one day, then basically the formation phase for this pattern is now invalid. But remember, the pattern never even confirmed to begin with because we never saw a confirmed break below the neckline, which was sitting at around 37.40 here. And so, like I said previously here on the channel, this was something to pay attention to, as it was potentially forming, but nothing to act on because it never actually confirmed. It never activated that bearish signal. And with that being said, taking a look at the price of Solana on the 8-hour time frame, what is now happening in the price of Solana is finally a breakout back above this resistance level, which was sitting at around 172. And so if the price can ideally hold above that level now and flip that into new support, then in that case, we could likely see a continued move up towards this next area of resistance, sitting in between around 183 to 187. And in a more bullish scenario, if we start breaking out above this local high close to 187, then in that case, we have another major area of resistance to the upside sitting in between $200 to $210. And as for short-term support for the price of Solana, we should now find support in this area in between 167 to 172. But if we actually break back below around 167, we still have more support at around 160. But similar to what we're seeing in Ethereum at the moment, Bitcoin is basically leading the market. We're seeing major breakouts in Bitcoin first of all, and then a lot of these larger alts like Ethereum and Solana are kind of just following along with those bullish moves. And so we have not yet gotten to the stage where some of these larger alts like Solana and Ethereum are actually officially outperforming Bitcoin, but that could come potentially soon if we start entering into all-time high territories. And once again, if you want to trade these moves in the price of any crypto, check out those links down below this video to claim those extra bonuses. And if you want to actually know how to trade crypto, no matter if the price is bullish, bearish, or chopping around sideways, then make sure to watch these videos popping up right here on your screen. The video in the top left shows you how you can profit from bullish or bearish price action using long positions or short positions, and the video in the bottom left shows you how you can easily profit from choppy sideways price action. But anyway, that is everything that I have to say for today. I really hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you all in the next video.